Hey there, it's Chris. Welcome back to the Final Fantasy XII Ultima project. Remember last time we went ahead and finally made these little kind of legs or hockey sticks, I've been calling them forever, that kind of go up into the dress. We've done the areas below the dress. Now we're kind of focusing on areas kind of transitions into the dress and transitions into Ultima herself. And just as I'd done the front legs, it'd be nice to just go and pop these back legs on just the same, except the back legs, as we see right here, are not quite the same as they are on the front. It kind of is that P shape on the bottom, and then it comes up and kind of tucks in kind of to this piece up here. Actually tucks in just above this piece here. So I can't just copy these in and make it work. At the same time, these were made out of the 3/8 piece of plywood that I have. And if I do that over here, as you can see, kind of where the top piece overlaps that P on the bottom, it kind of flares out a little down there, which kind of makes this a little more complicated. Somebody who does a lot of carving and whatnot, this might be really, really easy, but given the material that I have to work with, I have an idea how to get away with doing this with that 3/8 plywood that I used on the front. Because again, the rest of this, other than that flare out, is the same width as these guys. So I'm going to make it the same way right now. Then I have an idea on how to make that flare like it does over there. So just like before, we've taken a piece of cardboard, and I've already drawn out the P and the shape down here. And if we go and stick this guy on here, we can see that it tucks right in. So that's generally what we're looking at right now. So now I need to go and finish cutting this out, and then we'll go and transfer this over to the plywood piece. So this will just take a moment to kind of finish cutting down here, and then we'll be able to move forward on this. So, because cardboard is super easy to cut, and this is why we use this for basically every template I do ever. It just makes life easier. There, we don't need that. Would be nice if we actually cut a straight line. This part can go. That goes. Yes, it does get a little thin right in there, but that's just the way it is. This down here can go. And the inside of this P has to go. I apologize if my fingers are blocking the way, but I'm right-handed, so I gotta hold it with my left hand and cut with the right. It's just the way this works. That should be kind of what we're looking for. And if we bring it up here, we can slide it in, and bam, that is generally what we want. And one thing we're going to notice on this is this doesn't really connect into, I mean, I guess I could drill a hole straight in there, but actually I was thinking I was going to bring it down. No, I actually kind of do need to bring it across because this little part does tuck into it. So we will still be drilling a hole into this to kind of make that fit. But the nice thing with this one is once this goes in, whoop, the benefit we're going to have is the detailing changes from this side of it to this side of it on both the top, on both this section and this section. So I really do need this done before we do the final kind of little detailing and triangulations in there. But all right, then disappear real quick, and we're going to go ahead and cut this guy out. All right, so I'm back here, and though I don't intend to actually show the entire cutting out like I did last time, because I think I forgot to turn the sound balance down last time, so sorry about that. But I just do want to show that if you have an interior kind of hole like this that needs to be cut out nice and neat, you can't really just plunge this in the jigsaw and get going. So instead you need to get a drill out first, drill a hole with the bit that's going to be either equal to or bigger than the size of the jigsaw bit you're going to be using. And now with that done, now you can come and take the jigsaw and cut out what you need to cut out. And that's how you do that. Then the rest of cutting out is exactly the same as before. So just want to show that part real quick. It's a real simple thing. You can save a lot of frustration. So catch you when this is all done. Okay, and as you can see, I've gone ahead and now finished cutting out these pieces and kind of popped them in. And I do have to say this, both these front and back legs really did finish this whole thing off. It now has the weight up top that it really needed, even though in the end all you're going to see is probably from here down and maybe most of this P down, some of this top stuff's going to be hidden, but it really did give the weight that it needed to. Now before I get to the fun part on this, we do need to actually carve this. I'm going to carve the P section down to what it needs. I'm not going to touch the top yet because I'm going to get to that later. But I do need to kind of shrink this P section down just a little. And even though I drew it out, that was kind of a mistake because that's put it in the cart before the horse. Because I do want this to be a little bit skinnier than this piece up top. So this is probably time to say cue the music. Alright, there we have that. And I just need to redo that on this side, do it on the other one, and then we'll be back for the next step, which will be a little bit of an experiment. We'll see. This might work, this might not, but I got an idea. Alright, so with this guy now complete, although this in the background it's hard to tell, we're now carved out, we're done, we're good to go. I did both sides. And it's trying to work in that kind of finial looking or kind of plant looking area. My camera is facing 100% the other way, kind of right on top over there-ish, and kind of how it flares out. And so my plan for that is I have this nice big dowel again. You can see I've kind of carved a channel through that, is I can cut this channel down and then carve like about an inch off of this, and I can slide that on top here, and then I can go, and once that's attached, I can kind of sand it so it merges with this top portion. I'm hoping I'm still on camera. and then it gives me material to work with to flare it off on the bottom. So my initial plan for doing this was I could just take the Dremel sanding wheel, just kind of slowly kind of work my way down in here, except that would probably work. The wheel itself is slightly bigger than what I have here, which is still doable. I can still work with that. There are ways to fill material as need be. But rather than do that, the other option I could use is I could get my router back here again, and I could just route my way through this. Now, the trick with that is I have never routed a dowel in my life, so this is going to be a little new. I have no idea how this is going to work, but I figure I have enough I can work with. I can hold my hand far enough back and keep my hands out of the way in case something happens, and I do this I can fall back on if it slips off or does some weird things. So we're going to experiment a little bit and see how this works, because this is definitely new. Now, I need about 1 inch per piece, so I have a mark down here. It's 2.5 inches far, so I have a little bit of extra play room. I shouldn't need the entire thing, but if I'm routing this, I might as well route both pieces that come out, one for the right and one for the left, and not just the other way around. So hopefully y'all remember to actually deal with sound balancing this time. Okay, this is actually going to work. So, like usual, this is a very dead-looking bit. I can see it's been burned, it's been used a lot. So we're not doing this in one go. We're going to do this over a couple attempts. I hope my neighbors do not hate me for this. Okay, I want to make sure I don't go all the way through. This should be the final one. That actually is not looking too bad. All right, we're gonna go back, and I just want to make sure we have a little funky edge on that. So we still have a little over 2 inches, about 2¼ inches if we cut off that bad part. So I'm gonna go clean everything up here, put things away, and I'll meet you back to my usual place. All right, so we're back here, and with that part done, we wound up just pretty good on one side. We're a little bit off center on the other, but that's actually going to be fine because, again, we're going to be shaving a lot of this off in the end. So now I just need to kind of carve this down just a little bit so I can slide that guy on. So this should be pretty easy. Probably have just a little bit of back and forth going on, but okay, so we come down in there. Okay, I need a straighter edge than this is going to give, so back to my cutting wheel, the usual. See, that kind of slides in right there. And now it's then just a matter of carving this up into the rest of this. Probably should be gluing this on right now, but I can at least get a rough carving in first. So that kind of gets our look that we're kind of going for. A little bit of tweaking, but we're in it on that part. And then just outside of that, we do get trimmed down just a little bit on And that kind of gives us the look we're working for. A couple more little tweaks on here, a little more sanding, but that's it. I like it. Let's see how this fits in here. Thankfully, I went and I marked where everything goes, so that should help a little bit. And put that on there, and whoop, the camera's there. And there we have it. We have, as I said, I'll keep doing just a couple little tweaks here and there, but we have the backside done. So with that, those are the major pieces, and all we have left now is carving up here and some carving down on the back, which we're going to get to next time. Also finish off that one between now and next time, because we don't need to do both on camera. So we're in there, and yeah, that's what we have. And then until next time, enjoy.